Hi, it's Rashida, and I'm back with another Project Life Process video. I am in the month of August, and now I am just going through some Mombi cards from Michaels. I've had these for a while, and they are really nice. They're thin, but they're nice in terms of the type of cards, like the journaling prompts, the little icons on them. And here I'm going through the Fancy Pants cards that I picked up a couple of weeks ago, and these are nice cards as well. They're not double-sided, they're single-sided, but the quality is very good, so very nice and thick. So I'm going to use like one or two of those, and I'm just looking for cards to place my photos on, 3x4 cards. So I'm just going to trim up a few of my photos with this Creative Memories trimmer, and I'm just putting this photo down. I very rarely capture the news, and one day I turned on the TV and the president was on, and I was like, okay, well, this is good enough for news, so let me just capture this and put it in my Project Life. And so yeah, a couple of things this month. I mean, randomly I got my oil changed. I had breakfast with a couple of my neighbors. Here I'm going through some foodie cards. I put all of my food related cards in a little Ziploc bag and I keep them together. So I'm just looking for a 3x4 card to showcase our breakfast. So yeah, I'm gonna get that down. I'm using my corner rounder, my Marvy corner rounder, which I really love. And so my layout is almost completely set up in terms of the page protectors. I've already chosen my page protectors, and I'm just trying to get down these last few pictures and get them situated into the photo pocket. So there I went through my Studio Calico kit. I had a few bits and pieces left over from previous kits, and these are rub-ons, and I'm just going to put that down using my We Are Memory Keepers rub-on tool. And these are some Studio Calico chipboard speech bubbles. I think you can find these maybe through joann's.com. They're a couple of years old. I think maybe from 2012. But if you Google Studio Calico Hero Arts chipboard speech bubbles, or Studio Calico Hero Arts chipboard arrows, because you can see the arrows over there on the left also. So I'm using these Doodlebug Designs letter stickers, and I'm just putting oil change, and that's just a picture of the little cars that they had in the showcase room at the dealership where I get my oil changed. These are like older vehicles, so that's not my car, but I wanted to take a picture of those, well, that particular little car, because it was just so cute. It's probably from, I don't know, maybe the late 60s, I'm not sure. So just added a Studio Calico embellishment. That one says Sunday, the little black button that you see there. And what am I doing now? Oh, I'm just going to put down like how many of us, you know, it was, and then the price of the food. So on that little guest check card. And this month I got some new shoes, and I just wanted to document that. And I'm using this stamp set by Julie Faifan Balzer, and it says "This Week." So I'm using that Bo Bunny ink that I got the other week. And I think that is a pigment ink. I wasn't exactly sure when I did the haul video if it was a pigment ink or a dye ink. I think it's pigment, but it stamps really good. there you see the stamp set. And I'm using the Studio Calico Color Theory letter stickers. And that is another chipboard piece from Studio Calico Hero Arts. It says hello friend, because they are my friends. And this is a picture of a frog that was on the back porch at my parents' house, and I ended up not using that photo. So anyway, moving on, I used some die cuts from MFT, and that's what you see me placing down there. I'm trying to use my dies a little bit more, trying to incorporate them more into my project life, and I'm going to use that as sort of a journaling spot. So over to the right, you can see that I used my die cut flower piece that's from, I think, Memory Box, but I wanted to do that to kind of break up the space a little bit, because I like my pages to look busy, but sometimes I want like a little clearing area, like some space, so everything doesn't look too much. So I just stuck that die cut piece in that pocket. So now I'm going to do some stamping, and this is just a photo of me and my mom. We were out shopping one day, and then when we came out from the shopping center, we noticed we had a flat tire. And so here I'm just documenting our first tow truck ride, because we had to call the service to come, try to repair the tire, and they couldn't repair the tire, and so we had to get towed into the auto place. So, and I'm using one of these Studio Calico geotag wood veneers that I got in my previous haul, and I'm just going to use a little bit of glossy accents to adhere that. And now I'm going to use some of these crepe paper notes and things label stickers. If you see them, like on the internet or in your scrapbooking store, they come on a roll. If you can see the roll over there on the right. So I'm trying to use up some of those. And once you take off one or two, it's like they all come unraveled a little bit, but I still managed to use a few of them. So I'll try to get those used up. So later on that day we had lunch, and just documenting that, and that's just what was on my plate. So I'm just kind of going back and forth. Like I said, I'd already kind of put these pages together, and I just wanted to go back and add a few things, which is sort of what I typically do. I'll put things in the pockets and slide them out, and then put them back in, and then go back and add journaling and other embellishments. So I'm using this Close to My Heart stamp set, and I know this one's older as well. I think I got this probably 2 or 3 years ago. I really like using the little icon people. I don't know why, I just think they're cute. I know they have been, on trend for a while now, and I just keep on using them. And this card, I am just looking for something extra to put on it. I'm going to use this snapshot stamp from that Close to My Heart stamp set. I really enjoy using my stamps in Project Life. I try to use them as much as I can, and you know, they look really pretty in the packaging and everything like that, but I try to get them out of the packaging and get them used up the best way that I can. So I'm taking this Hello journaling card, and I'm going to use a couple of these Tim Holtz Distress inks that I got in a previous haul. So I'm going to use the picked raspberry, the silver one. I forgot what the silver one is called, and I think I'm going to use the picket fence one, which is like the white color one. And I didn't want to add too much of that picked raspberry because I am going to journal on the card, and I didn't want too much of that dark color on there. So I'm just using this makeshift, I think it's a Studio Calico box that I do all of my spraying and misting in. So I got that dried, and that's how that came out, and I'm going to journal over that. So now these are some gold rub-ons from a Studio Calico Project Life kit, and instead of cutting out that rub-on, which is what I should have done, I just like put the whole sheet down, and a little of it got stuck on the side as you see there, and so I tried to remedy that. So sometimes you can get away with just using the whole sheet and just pinpointing the one that you actually need, but you just have to be very careful when you do that. So I'm trying to get it, got some of it on the side, so got that off. So I used some of these Amy Tangerine little photo corners to dress up that mommy card. Now I'm going to do some more stamping using that Kelly Winnell stamp set that I got in a previous haul, and I'm going to use this Memento Luxe white ink. It's called Wedding Dress, and I'm going to stamp directly on the photo because I wanted it to show up. I thought black would be a little bit too dark because the photo is kind of dark, so use that up. And now I wanted to itemize my journaling, and because I didn't want to write a whole lot on this this little die cut that says documented, I just wanted to add a few things just to kind of recap the month, you know, a couple of things that I did. Obviously not everything, but just a few things I wanted to just highlight on that die cut. And that is a Kelly Perky stamp. It's like one of those planet stamp sets that you can use in your Filofax or your Erin Condren planner, or whatever planner that you're using. But it's great for other things too, especially the small icons. They're good for Project Life. So now I'm just going to do a little bit of the itemized journaling like I mentioned. And I'm going to add some stars to this Fancy Pants card, this Fancy Pants 4x6 card. And that Remember is a rub-on from that rub-on sheet from Studio Calico that I used earlier. So I just wanted to dress up that card a little bit. So this is the finished result, finished product. And there are going to be some photos at the end. And if you have any questions about anything that I used, something that you saw, just let me know. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Bye bye.